There is an undeniable rush performing live under heavy stage lights, but that high is often followed immediately by the harsh crash of financial reality. Artists routinely agree to play shows without actually knowing what they will make, until a promoter hands them their cut at the end of the night. The local booking system runs on fragmented text messages, loose handshakes, and blind hope. This setup systematically strips musicians of their financial agency long before they even plug in an amp. When ticket sales are uncertain, venues protect their own bottom line by shifting the financial risk downward onto the performers. They execute this shift by charging artists opaque, often inflated production fees to cover the house sound engineer, lights, and door staff. Looking at discussions among industry professionals, some argue bands must pay for the stage's tech and system. However, musicians point out clubs use this pay-to-play structure as a defensive shield, taxing talent instead of absorbing operational risks. This post shows a rare, transparent alternative, a promoter explicitly outlining over $1,500 in daily operating overhead, covering marketing, cops, lights, and staff, to justify why the band gets a back-end split instead of a larger upfront cut. Without a standardized method to verify these venue costs, every gig remains a gamble, where the artist plays blind. FairGig replaces that industry guesswork with absolute mathematical certainty, acting as a financial truth layer for live music. The show economics simulator forces unstructured deals into a clean framework, letting artists adjust slider inputs for ticket price and expected crowd. Below that, users subtract specific, verified marketing and production costs to see the true net pool. This diagram shows how the system instantly divides those fixed costs by the ticket price, calculating the exact number of fans required just to break even. The simulator then runs the math on multiple attendance scenarios side by side to project exact growth and net revenues. These three projection cards show the direct mathematical comparison of the band's take versus the venue's profit for an empty room, a likely crowd, and a sold-out show. By making every dollar visible before a contract is signed, artists can mathematically identify and reject predatory setups. Once the show ends, the ecosystem requires an automated payout mechanism to handle the actual money. In a waterfall settlement, gross ticket revenue filters downward, paying out processing fees and venue costs first to isolate net revenue. That remaining pool is strictly divided into precise payouts for the artist and the venue. FairGig also tracks how venues handle these settlements over time through a built-in reputation layer. Every venue builds a public profile based on their fairness score, their reliability in paying out on time, and direct ratings left by previous artists. This interconnected system replaces chaotic post-show disputes with a permanent audit trail, enforcing strict financial accountability on promoters. In the live music economy, an artist's ability to consistently draw a paying crowd is their absolute most valuable asset. Musicians can input their historic audience turnout into the simulator to calculate exactly how much gross revenue they will generate at the door. Bands then present this verified mathematical projection to promoters to justify breaking away from standard, opaque club rates. Transparent data transforms an artist's raw popularity into undeniable financial leverage at the negotiating table. As independent musicians rapidly adopt these new tools, they form a unified, highly informed local talent pool that refuses bad deals. Once a critical mass of that talent demands settlement clarity, the power dynamic of the entire city's music scene flips. This enforces a truth tax. Venues must choose to operate transparently on the platform or lose their supply of artists. If a club refuses to verify their deals, their absence becomes a red flag, driving the best bands to transparent competitors. The platform operates as a forced market correction. It makes fairness mandatory for survival.